Hi, welcome to Mark's Basement Arcade. Today we are going to do a Bally score reel rebuild. Well, I don't know if you'd call it a rebuild, but we're going to fully take it apart, pull out a machine, and clean it. Put it back together, test it, make sure it works. What we're working on today is my 76 Bally Captain Fantastic. This was in storage for approximately 15 years. I went through the whole thing, and this is the last score reel we're going to be working on. What you're going to need is a screwdriver, a nut driver, a tool to adjust the leaf switches because sometimes they get a little out of whack, a little surgical I don't know what you would call it, clip. Well, I use it for clipping the little tiny rings. You'll see it when I pull it apart. But this, I clamp it right on the little rings and then I pop them off. They're tiny, they're small, they'll get loose. You're going to need a little of the super lube to re-lubricate a couple parts back on it. And 91% isopropyl alcohol to clean it. Exfoliating cotton rounds. I get these from Target. These do the job because they got a little texture built into them. I use them for cleaning so much stuff. It's crazy. And some glass cleaner. I got this also from Target. This we use to clean the score reels. You need some paper towel. As you can see, this is from 1 reel, 2 and 3 reels. I left 1 left to work on it with you guys. And a space to put all of your little pieces. So, the first thing, what I like about these Ballys, at least this one, is the score reels are not screwed down. They have this little lever right here. You just push up on it and it comes right out. Pretty simple, huh? As you notice on a score reel, there's a little computer like type board where all the contacts behind here make contact. If you notice on player number 2, score reel number 2, there isn't one, but 3 and 4 do. This is actually 10,000s, 1,000s, 100s. The one I pulled out is the 10s, and you can see right here, this is a fake reel. That is what you see on the other side. It's always on 0. It never moves. Alright. Let's pull this camera back a little bit so I can take this apart. As you can see with these clippers here, how nice they are. They will grab onto the little ring easy. This little ring right here. Let's see if I can bring this closer a little bit. That little ring right there we're going to pop off first. I was just cleaning the other score reels before, and I had my jukebox playing. Unfortunately with YouTube, with their copyright crap that they have, I had to turn it off to talk to you guys. So now there's 3 screws. We're going to take the 3 screws out. Now these screws go into plastic, so they don't have to be torqued to 500 inch-pounds or anything like that. You just tighten them down so they are tight and they stop. You don't have to work them over real good. And this, you can see, it just pulls off real easy. Now look how grubby that is. Come on, camera, focus. Look at that. It's just nasty. So what we're going to do, squirt your little Windex on there. I'm holding this with one hand. And we're just going to wipe it. Now these are going to be stained when I'm done. You can kind of see the dirt coming off, and then it's just yellow underneath. There's nothing you're gonna really be able to do about that. You're either gonna live with it, and you're gonna have to try to find some new score reels. But if you look at the rest of my machine, it's, I guess you would call it patina. Now I've taken these score reels before. I made the mistake and soaked them in water with a little bit of just like dish soap, just a tiny little drop in a big giant bucket. Worked great, got them all completely cleaned, except these numbers started coming off, especially number 5 for some reason. I don't know why number 5, but 5 was the worst. So I posted up in one of the groups, and one of the people said, get one of those little paint pens, black one, and just touch it up. As you can see, there's a little spot on number 5 right there. I'm not touching that up because it isn't going to bother me, because as you can see, this is never going to look brand new again. It's just going to be clean. So we'll set that over to the side now. But yeah, you can take the little paint pen and pull it apart. Now let's see if we can get a little closer here. As you can see, this is what it does. There's a notch right here that has a corresponding mark right here, which is at 5. Opposite of 5 is at 0. So as this will sit right there on 5, this other side over here will be 0, which will point out. So that's where the score reel stops. And you can see how clever this is. When it clicks in, it will advance everything. And I can already see that I have some contacts that are out of whack right here. Right now, these should be closed. So let's, where's my adjusting thing? Let me make sure we're at 0. Okay, top contacts open. Top contacts closed. Both bottom ones should be open now. Both bottom ones should be closed now. Okay, top one is open. Now it should close the top one. Top one's closed. I don't know if you can see it real good in right here. Top one's closed, middle one's closed, bottom one's closed. And that click, they all should open. And they do. Yep, both closed now. Top open. 9, when you get to 9, you can see as on how the cam goes. 9, we'll bring that up. They all will be closed now. When you go to 0 score, it opens up bottom, middle, and top. And that's how neat this thing works. It's real super easy. And also this one right here, every time you go in, it opens. So I hope you can see how these contacts worked. Right now the top is open, 2 bottom ones are closed. Next click, it should go up. All contacts are closed. Top, I know it's going to be hard to see that one. Top, middle, and bottom. Bottom contacts open. Open, open, open. I just don't like how that one's just a little close. Yeah. This will also operate smoother when I get it rebuilt. I think it's just so out of whack. You know, I really jacked it up. See, I like this leaf to move just a little bit when they close. It shows, it lets them kind of like rub against each other like this a little bit, so that will always kind of keep a decent contact between them. So they both have this one right here and this one. They will both move just a little bit. I'm gonna have to take it apart now. Alright, to take this apart, put this leaf switch tool, let's back this up just a little bit. I found out the easiest way. You take these springs off. The big spring goes on top. It goes over here, this little spring, which really doesn't do too much. It doesn't hardly have a lot of tension. It goes on the bottom there. Now we're going to take our little thing. I got these from Harbor Freight. They're like in a kit. I just clamp it on and as tight as it can get. And I just pull it straight out. And I grab it with my fingers, unclamp it, set it off to the side where I ain't gonna lose it. I unclamped it a little bit. I can't remember what these are called, but Harbor Freight has them. And or some surgical forceps or something like that. Alright. As you can see, we got this all out, and this is the fun part. Now these screws will come out. On my machine, I had these little machine type screws. I had regular Phillips head screws, and I had one with a nut and a bolt. Over the years, they get repaired, worked on, parts get lost, so the people are just like, this is what I got in my toolbox. We're fixing it this way. That's got to come off because I got to clean inside the sleeve, and I got to be able to get the plunger out of it. Let's back this up just a little bit. Now this will just come away and go off to the side. Now this is the tricky part. It's kind of tricky, and you're like, well, this is bent too much where I can't just pull it off easy, and this is in the way. But if you kind of bend it just a little bit, as you can see, it comes right out. You back this up a little bit, and you can kind of just wiggle it right out. See how smooth that is? Ooh, that is gunked up. Yeah, it said something spilled in there at one time. And then this piece. Let's all set them over to the side. We're going to clean one at a time. And always this, the trusty 3M pad. The best for cleaning everything. Now I've went through this and it does play on player number 4, but I'm like, well, you rebuilt everything, well, cleaned. I don't know if it's really technically rebuilt. I didn't use any new parts on these, so I guess I just cleaned it. And I clean these posts off. As you can see, that one was hard to pull off a little bit. So it's got some gunk built up on it. Each one of these posts, we're going to clean. Oh, I wish I could have my jukebox on. Wish YouTube wasn't crazy about that stuff. Okay, these are all clean. Alright, let's throw that off to the side. Oh, 600 grit sandpaper. This is like wet dry sandpaper. It's like paper almost. It's got hardly any grit feel to it. I use this to clean the contacts. Like I said, this does work. I'm just cleaning it. You don't have to go nuts here. Clean. Open these up. Put it between it. Just a little pressure on it. Now I will go through when I'm done and recheck to make sure these are opening and closing smooth the way they're supposed to. Just looking between them to make sure they're getting clean. Believe me, this is a lot harder doing this on video than it is doing it without the video there. But you are my audience and you're here to learn or just be like, oh, that's how he does it. Alright, as you can see in here, it's a little cruddy. That's where the exfoliating pad comes in. Take the exfoliating pad, put a little rubbing alcohol on it. I'm just going to take this and twist it up a little bit like this. See, I got the bumps outwards. The reason why I do this first is because if there's any alcohol that oozes up in there, it will dry. This is 91% alcohol, so it dries really quick. I'm going to push in there to get that, just get a little fatter inside there and scrub better. Now technically, yeah, if you wanted to, you could pull these relays off and threw a new coil sleeve in there, but when they clean up, they're pretty good. Look at all that. I haven't had a problem yet with these cleaning them where they haven't worked yet. Every single one has worked flawlessly after cleaning them up. But if I did ever have a problem, I probably would be that sleeve eventually. But that rod that goes in there rides so smooth in there, it doesn't really hang up at all. It's kind of sloppy fit almost, so that's why I didn't replace any of the coil sleeves, just because of that reason, the sloppy fit on them. And these, I'll just use the same thing. These don't really matter too much except for the points where the two pieces of plastic contact each other. The only thing I'm going to be greasing on these is the shafts that they ride on, and that's it. Nothing else. Oh, and then where there's a groove on the bottom of one of them, this one,